everyone. This is the show where I help high-achieving women push their limits, dominate their mindset, and take actions towards their goals. It's about to get real, so buckle up and brace for impact. My name is Ashleigh Mayfield, and I am the high-achieving woman. Before we dive in, can I just say thank you, guys? Thank you so much just for all the shares, likes, comments, reviews, all of that. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, when I opened up and wanted to revamp this podcast, it was really just to be able to help more high-achieving women, more women that want to be that bad mama jamma, that want to dominate their life, that want to take control, and that want to actually get real results. And that's really what I'm hoping I bring to this space is the ability to have real practical things that you can implement, but also give you the freaking fire under your butt that you need in order to go to the next level, because we only get one life. I love Gary Vaynerchuk says that all the time. People are like, give me some inspiration. And he's like, you're going to die. Like, what else do you need other than that? Okay, pretty crazy. So today I want to dive in and just kind of give you a little bit more motivational, get your butt in gear with assessing and adjusting. Okay, I've met, first of all, I've had this conversation with like 3 different people in the last few days. And I have a rule of thumb in my leadership. If I have to address something at least 3 or 4 times, that means it needs to be like a public declaration, a public statement. So that's actually a really good rule of thumb that you can just put in your back pocket. If you're finding in your leadership, in your business, in your family, you're repeating the same thing like 3 times with 3 different people, it's time to like have a group session and like reiterate some policy, procedure, mantra, breakdown, code of ethics, whatever. Okay. So I've had this conversation with 3 different women in the last few days, and I was like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and dive in and talk about it, because I feel like if they're struggling, some of you might be struggling too. Okay. But I've met just in the last 5 years, I've met so many incredible high-achieving women that end up throwing in the towel because they don't understand the concept of assessing their work and adjusting towards the truths of what they assessed. Okay. It is so important that you are assessing the action that you are taking. Have you ever noticed people do the definition of insanity in their lives? Women will do the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and they're shocked when they get the same result, which usually is nothing, right? You kind of feel, and maybe you feel like you're there now in your business, in your career, in your family, relationships, your spiritual, whatever it is, but you feel like your tires are spinning, but your car is in park. You're literally just burning rubber, but you have this false response, like you see something happening, but there's no motion forward. So it's almost like this false response that there's something happening because you're doing the work, but it's not leading you anywhere. Okay. So if you're finding that you're there right now, I think it's really important that you're assessing your action. And there's 2 things that I can tell you that you need to be able to acknowledge as a high achiever. Number 1, high achieving women, we like to win. Okay. And so if you find that you're in this place in your life where the tires, are burning, but your car isn't parked and you're getting really pissed off and you're ready to throw in the towel, you need to know it's okay. You've got to just acknowledge within yourself that you like to win. High achieving women like to win. High achieving women like to grow. We like knowing that we aren't where we used to be, and we like physical evidence of it. I like to acknowledge physical evidence of me moving forward. In fact, it's one of my driving factors. Another thing I know about high achieving women is we hate when our effort is in vain. Okay. Some of you hate your time wasted. I wouldn't necessarily put me in that category. That's more of that green personality. Like you value efficiency and effectiveness. But what I will say is there is nothing worse than investing time to groom someone and then they just throw in the towel. And high achieving women don't like that. We like to lead. We like to duplicate. We like to know that our effort is not in vain, that our time is not going to be wasted. Okay. So if you're in a position where you're acknowledging the stuff about yourself and you're really frustrated and you're assessing, okay, my car's in parked, my tires are burning, I'm doing the work, but it's not working. What do you do in those situations? you could be doing all the things and not seeing progress, right? We've all kind of been there, or we will be there at some point in our journey. So I just kind of want to give you a few things that you can do immediately if you find that you're there. If you need to take a step back, take a bird's eye view and actually assess what it is that you're doing and what's not working. The first thing that you need to do is admit what you're doing is not working. Like, you'd be shocked how stubborn people are. Maybe that is you, my sister friend. Okay. Women will hold on to false hope because, number one, it was their idea. Or number two, they hate change. Okay. Are you doing the same thing over and over and over? And you know it's not working, but you won't admit it just because it was either your idea or you're too stubborn to change. Right? So knowing, like, holding on to this false hope, knowing that it's not working, it just sounds silly, right? But like they always say, admitting you have a problem is the first step. So let's just go ahead and acknowledge whatever I'm doing is not working and I need to reevaluate. Okay. I would challenge you, assess what was working. What was working when you got to a level of success? Or what is working around you? That might be looking at other humans, that might be looking at competitors, stuff you've previously tried. What is working right now? What is relevant? You'd be shocked how many people that I know. I've had phenomenal success on TikTok over the last, 12 to 18 months. I've been able to grow 250,000, just over. My goal this year is to hit 1 million followers on TikTok. I wanted that goal last year. I didn't take it serious, but I want to take it serious this year because I want that influence. I want that impact for high achieving women. And you would be shocked when women come to me and they're saying that they want to grow their brand, their concept, their product, their idea, like in coaching. And I'm like, get on TikTok, get on TikTok, get on. Like, it's so relevant. It's so relevant. But they refuse to do it because they're uncomfortable, right? And so we all know success is on the other side of our comfort zone, but we have to assess what is working for those around us. And if you want to have the capacity to gain a platform in a small amount of time, this is an example. Like, you got to get on TikTok, right? It's just what's relevant right now. So a lot of women, I find, won't assess their action because they're so committed to an old formula. And this is such a simple tweak. I promise you, it's a really simple tweak, okay? So that's the second thing you can do. First, admit you have a problem. Second, just assess what was working or what is working. And third, you need to have accountability. And here's why. It's really easy when we start off in a new direction to run back to our comfort zone. And I legit coach, mentor, and physically see women do this all the time. They take a step in the right direction. They take a leap of faith, whether it's, they can physically see it or they're doing it blindly. And for some reason, maybe they don't see results right away, or maybe they feel too vulnerable. And so they go back to what wasn't working simply because it's muscle memory. Life overwhelms them and they go back to the muscle memory instead of creating, new, bigger muscles. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. So if you're burning rubber, burning the candle at both ends, however you want to say it, it's time that you have an honest conversation with yourself. You need to assess what is not working. Now let's flip to the adjustment part. Okay, some of you are like, no, what I'm doing is working. It's fine. Cool. But now we're going to talk about what you need to adjust, baby doll. Okay, let's talk about adjusting that attitude. All right. As high achieving women, we are so freaking funny. Like, we can be really fickle. We hold ourselves to high levels of excellence, right? How many of you out there do that? High level of excellence, high level of expectations. But when things don't go the way we want them to go, when we want them to be there, it can truly expose our weakness. And I really feel like our attitude, our perception can be a weakness for us if we are not mindful of that. When, you're tackling life, when you're aiming to crush a goal, here's what I want you to know. Too many details can paralyze you. Have you ever taken a step back and noticed that? High achieving women, we don't have to be detail oriented, but there's a lot of details to success, right? And I think that the majority of high achieving women, they value having a perfectly crafted plan. But what can mess them up is they have an expectation of it being executed accordingly. And if you don't have your attitude in check, it's going to be catastrophic for you, because the reality is there are going to be obstacles and unknowns that cross your path. And if you are so focused on the details, on the plan and the perfectionism that you get derailed when it doesn't go as is, I'm telling you right now, you're never going to make it. Part of success is making a plan, but also being super flexible. And right now, as you're listening to the words coming out of my mouth, it is a good time to reflect and ask yourself, how agile are you? How flexible are you? If you don't start at 6 p.m., but you start at 6:03, do you completely lose your mind? If you don't cross your finish line based on the time frame that you created, do you throw in the towel? If it's raining outside and, I don't know, your kids can't walk to school, like you got to drive them, do you just like get in a bad mood for the rest of the day? A huge, and you got to hear my heart when I say this, a huge indicator of continued success and being a high achiever, it's having the capacity to assess the situation and adjust accordingly. Okay. And yes, I do want to insert this. There are going to be times when there will absolutely be times when you hold the line and you stick to the plan, which means people need to be held accountable for their actions. I am all here for that, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the times when you're so focused on the details of your plan, whatever life, business, faith, health, whatever that looks like, that you get completely off course. Because it doesn't go accordingly. This is a great time to identify this because it's an opportunity of growth for you. And here is the sad truth. We're wrapping up. Here's the sad truth, my friends. It doesn't matter how good you are and how many results you get if you have a bad attitude. It does not matter how good you are or how many results you get if you have a bad attitude. If you do not know how to adjust, if you don't know how to pivot and be flexible when things don't go according to plan, keeping your attitude in check, people will not want to work with you. They won't want to hire you. They won't want to refer from you. You will have bad word of mouth. They won't want to help you fulfill your vision. They will lose respect for you. And here's why. No one likes a loose cannon. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I grew up in a household with a mother who yelled a lot. No one likes that feeling of walking on eggshells. And it doesn't matter how successful you are. If you don't know how to assess and adjust your attitude, it's not just the work. It's not just what we do, which is the first part of how I opened up, but it's who we are that also needs assessing and adjusting. So you need to adjust your attitude. So which is it, my friends? Is it the first one? Is it both? Because at the end of the day, only you know. But it is time to assess and adjust so you can truly be the best version of you in 2022. If you found any value, I want you to like, comment, share, pay the fee, what I always say. But my friend, let's do the work now, okay? Let's do the work now. I can't wait to grow with you, ladies. See you next time.